Hi, my name is Prasenjit Sarkar. I'm a product manager, cloud native in OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can leverage free tier services from OCI and make your Kubernetes cluster up and running. Oracle, during the open world, has announced a new always free services. You can build, test, and deploy applications on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure for free of cost. So within the always free services, you can get two autonomous databases, two virtual machines up to 8 core of vCPU and 1 GB of RAM and bunch of other services and products. So for an example, you're going to get two block volumes up to 100 GB total, 10 GB of object storage and archive storage as well. You will also get a load balancer of one instance, 10 Mbps of bandwidth, and a monitoring of various different metrics. So with this, you can definitely spin up your Kubernetes cluster. So why don't I show you how you can leverage this and run your microservices application on top of a Kubernetes cluster. So to get to this free tier, sign up at oracle.com/uk/cloud/free and go from there and just go for start for free. And once you sign it up, you just need to provide your name, email address, mobile number, get yourself verified, provide a credit card, but we will not charge you anything for the free tier. So in this exercise, we will be installing K3s. It is a lightweight Kubernetes distribution from Rancher Labs. K3s has recently been made generally available and a certified distro built for the IoT and edge computing, especially for the ARM computers. K3s is packaged as a single less than a 40 MB of binary that reduces the dependencies and steps needed to install, run, and auto-update a production Kubernetes cluster. It also, to oversimplify and speed up things, we will use k3sup, an open source utility written in Golang. It's a lightweight utility and it is going to take you from zero to kubeconfig with K3s on any local or remote VM. All you need is SSH access and K3sup binary to get kubectl access immediately. This tool, as I said, is written in Go and is cross-compiled for Linux, Windows, macOS, and even on Raspberry Pi. This tool uses SSH to install K3s to a remote Linux host. You can also use it to join an existing Linux host to a K3s cluster as agents or nodes. First, K3s is installed using the utility script from Rancher, along with a flag for your host public IP so that TLS works properly. The kubeconfig file on the server is then fetched and updated so that you can connect from your laptop using kubectl. You may wonder why a tool like this needs to exist when you can do this sort of things using Bash. Well, K3sup was developed to automate what can be a very manual and confusing process for many developers who are already short on time. So once you have provisioned a virtual machine with your favorite tooling, K3sup means you are only 60 seconds away from running kubectl get pods on your own computer. With version 0.0.0, you can even join other nodes into an existing K3s cluster. If you like it, don't forget to mark a star to this awesome project and give a shout out for Alex Ellis, the founder of OpenFast and a CNCF ambassador who has written this tool for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a deep dive in creating this environment on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure free tier. First of all, once you are done with the sign up in here, you go to the Oracle Cloud page, and you're going to see that there are different quick actions like creating a compute instance, autonomous data transaction processing creation, creation of your data warehouse, virtual cloud network, and things like that. We have already created a virtual cloud network, and right now we will be creating 2 instances, which is free of cost for a developer to spin up anything and go from there. So let's click on create a VM instance. Let's give it a name of this instance. For example, I'm going to give it as a name as K3S master. I'm going to select that Oracle Linux 7.7 as an image. Let's click on show shape, network, and storage options. So this is going to be created in 81 as a virtual machine, and it's 1 core vCPU with 1 GB memory. I'm not going to change this shape. I'm going to select a virtual cloud network compartment, which is root. A virtual cloud network that is already created. It's called pras dev vcn. It's a subnet compartment is root, and this is a subnet where this virtual machine is going to be connected. And obviously we need a public IP, so I'm clicking on assign a public IP address. Okay. The default boot size is going to be 46.6 GB, and we need to supply an SSH file so that we can connect it later on. Alright, so we are good to go. Let's click on create. Okay, so this is getting provisioned right now. Let's click on instances and create our node. So similar process, give it a name, K3S node 01. Similarly, we will click on it here and scroll down and assign a public IP address. Choose a SSH file and click on create. Let's go back to the instances and let's monitor for the process. We will look into the virtual machine once it is up and running, and then we will SSH to the virtual machine. Okay, so it looks like this K3S master is up and running now. We should be getting the public IP address in here. You see this public IP address. So I'm going to pick up this public IP address and go to here. And do an SSH just to see whether I'm able to log into this box using SSH or not. All right, so here you go. I am logged into the K3S master using SSH, and I'm just exiting from the prompt, going back to the instances to see whether the K3S node is up and running and the public IP address for that. Copying this, going back to the terminal, do the same stuff, change the IP address, and voila, I'm logged into the node as well now. Let's exit from the prompt, and now we will be getting to the Kubernetes part. Now for the K3S has a binary that needs to be installed, and that binary is already pre-installed in my computer, although I will show you the command for that. So here is the command. This is the curl command that you need to run to get the binary installed on your computer. Look at that. So the K3s is up and running. It's installed in USR local bin. Now we will be installing the K3s onto the master node first, and then we will install and join the Kubernetes node to the Kubernetes master. So let's look at the command first. So if you see K3s up is up and running, let's see the options. So you can do K3s up, install, join, update, or you can even install Kubernetes apps such as, for an example, OpenFaaS on Kubernetes. You can do that as well. So we will be running this command is K3s up install --IP. The IP is the IP of the master node. So let's go back and check the master node IP. And the master node IP is this. Then SSH-key so that it can SSH to the node. Then a user, by default it picks up user as root, but in our case in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure for the SSH user is OPC, so we need to use user as OPC, and then we will give the sudo permission as well, and that's it. So that's all about it. So one single command, and let's look at how much time it's going to take to install and bootstrap the K3s. It's showing starting K3s onto the node. All right, so the K3s has been installed and the master node should be up and running there, and the kubeconfig file has already been written to my user profile directory, which is under /users / my username and this kubeconfig. So now we have installed K3s onto the master node. Now we need to export the kubeconfig and then log in to the master node and stop the virtual machine firewall inside the guest operating system, and then run the kubectl get nodes to see whether everything is up and running or not, right? So first of all, let's run the export command. So you need to do export in capital kubeconfig and then your kubeconfig file. Once you do that, then let's log into the master node and stop the firewall. So firewall D is up and running. We need to stop that. and we will disable this as well. All right. Once that is done, we still need to go and open up the firewall port within OCI infrastructure so that over the public IP, I can connect to the port number 6443. Let's do that then. Let's go to the subnet security list. Click on the security list, go to the default security list, and here click on add ingress rule. The source CIDR is 0.0.0.0/0. Protocol is TCP, source port can be anything, destination is 6443. Click on add ingress rule. Come back in here, kubectl get nodes -o wide. Okay, so here you can see, I'm going to maximize the screen. Here you can see that I am getting a K3s master. The status is ready, role is master, up since last 9 minutes. There's an internal IP, OS image is Oracle Linux 7.7, and the container runtime is containerd. Okay, so my Kubernetes control plane is up and running within literally 60 seconds. Now, what I'm going to do is I will add a Kubernetes node to this master and create a 2-node cluster for this. So let's go back to my instance list and click on instances, check the node IP for this. We need the node IP in here for the join command. Let's go to here and then run k3sup join --IP and then --server IP. The server IP should be this. This is our master node IP. We need to do SSH to the server as well. So the server user, which is same for us, which is OPC. Then the SSH key and --sudo and --user, which is OPC. And it's going to install K3s onto the node and join the cluster. All right, so it's done. Let's look at the nodes. Let's wait for some time. All right, so here you go. K3s node 01 has joined in here and it's up and running. So this way you can use a free resources to create your Kubernetes cluster and run your Kubernetes applications on top of a free tier without bearing any cost. Right? Thanks for watching.